Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to quickly jump on here and do a short video just to update you guys on what is going on with me at the moment. A lot of you may know that I haven't been at Starlight now for a few weeks. It's actually been 3 weeks. And I've had a lot of messages asking if I'm sick, if I'm on holiday, if I'm injured. So I just wanted to make a video just so I could answer like all the questions at once and let you guys know what is going on. So I'm going to start from the beginning up until now. I'm going to keep it quite short and sweet, but we'll see. That's my plan. But I like to talk quite a lot apparently, so hopefully this will be quite a short video anyway. So basically, about 3 months ago, I would say end of October, beginning of November, I had pain in my knee. And I went to Medicos, which is an amazing facility, just to get my knee looked at. And while they were looking at my knee, all of a sudden, during that time period, I started getting a really bad pain in my groin area, which is like at the top of the leg on the inside. And I remember the doctor was moving my leg to check the movement in my knee. And I was like, ow. And he was like, oh, does that hurt your knee? And I was like, no, I've just been getting a pain in my groin. But it's not about my knee. Anyway, my knee ended up being fine, but this pain in my groin just continued to be there. So I hadn't taken any time off with my knee. I'm not one to be off work. If I can work through something, I will. I really hate being off work. So I didn't come off work for my knee, and I continued to work with the pain in my groin, and it literally got to the point where I couldn't work anymore. The pain in my groin was too much. So shortly after that, I took time off. I took 2 weeks off from the show, didn't do anything, just rested. I was having physio. 3 or 4 times a week I was having physiotherapy with my amazing physio in Witten. She's absolutely amazing. So I was having physio with her. I had 2 weeks off from the show and my groin just wasn't getting any better. Literally 0% better. So I was really frustrated. I didn't want to have an MRI on it because I really thought it was muscular and eventually it would just get better. But it didn't. But I was so frustrated. I was like, do you know what? I'm sick of being off work. I'd been off work for 2 weeks. I was like, I'm just going to come back to work, try and work through it, and hopefully the injury will repair itself while I can work doing the show. So I went back to work. I had to alter the show a little bit, obviously with my choreographer. She's so wonderful, and my director, that they let me like tweak the show a little bit where I had pain in my groin. So I continued doing that. It was fine. I mean, it wasn't ideal. I couldn't skate properly, but I knew I could do the show. And to me, I was like, it's fine. I can do the show. I'm just going to carry on. So I carried on. I was having physio still 3-4 times a week. And it just wasn't getting any better. So I was like, for God's sake, what is going on? And then my physio, I really didn't want to go to the doctor because I knew that they would probably say that I had to stop working for a while. So I was like, I really didn't want to go to the doctor. But anyway, my physio ended up getting frustrated as well because she kind of worked on all different areas that she thought the pain could be coming from. And she was then getting frustrated as well that it wasn't improving. Especially with her help as well, because she is amazing, really. So she was getting frustrated, I was getting frustrated, and she then referred me 3 weeks ago to a doctor, a friend of hers, who she highly recommended. He works in Bochum, Wattenscheid, so it's not too far away. His name's Dr. Mescheder. So this was on a Friday. She said, look, Sian, I really want to send you to my friend. He's an amazing diagnosis. He can, he's good at diagnosing problems, and I'd really like you to go and see him. So she called him on the Friday, and then she messaged me. She said, I've got you an appointment for Monday morning at 9 o'clock. I said, okay, perfect, I'll be there. So Saturday and Sunday went. Monday came, up I was, drove to the praxis, and I saw Dr. Mescheder. And he did a mobility test on my leg, and when I was lying down, and the range of movement, like he pulled my knee, I'll do it with this leg, he pulled my knee to my chest with my bad leg, and it wouldn't go past 80 80 degrees. It wouldn't even go to 90 without there being pain. And it was when the knee gets rotated inwards, I have a lot of pain. Outwards a little, but it's more when the knee rotates inwards. So anyway, he said, I want to do an x-ray. I said, okay, great. So the same day, I was really quick in, did an x-ray. He looked at the results straight away and he said, okay, well, there's nothing broken or sprained. The x-ray came up okay. But he said, I do have a suspicion of what it could be. I'd really like to send you for an MRI. I said, okay. So on the same day, this is the Monday, he called over to the radiology department, which is literally across the street, like across the car park. So he called them while I was in the room and said, you know, he was pushing me forward to get it done quickly, which was amazing. And he got me, I went over to the radiology place and said, I've just come from Dr. Meshida's office to book an MRI. And she spoke to the doctor because she knew that I had come from Dr. Meshida, and they said, yeah, come tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, so quick, like fantastic. So then, you know, Monday went, I think I had physio with Ingrid on the Monday. And then on the Tuesday morning, I was at the radiology place again at 8 o'clock in the morning, bright and early, for my MRI. So I had the MRI. If you don't know what an MRI is, it's like a dome, it's like a big tube, and you kind of slide in it. It's not scary, but you feel it's like a really tight space and you're not allowed to move. So if you've got a fear of small spaces, then it would be literally your worst nightmare. I'm okay, I'm not scared of small spaces, but it still was, I was a bit like, oh, this is really not very nice, but it's fine, it wasn't too bad. So I had my MRI, and then I got a CD with the results on straight away. So then I went straight over to the doctor's praxis where I had seen Dr. Meshida, and Dr. Meshida wasn't there, his partner was there, and I saw his partner, and he had a quick look at the CD, but their computer screen is really small, whereas the people at the radiology do a full assessment of the MRI on there. They have like a special machine so they can see everything clearly from the MRI. So at a quick glance, my doctor's like a colleague, not assistant, but they, you know, there's two doctors that work in the practice. So it was the other doctor had a look, and he just said that there was, he saw a little bit of inflammation in my groin, but he couldn't see anything serious. So he gave me some anti-inflammatory tablets and said I couldn't work, which I expected. And he said, look, take the tablets, rest for, I think it was a week. He signed me off for a week. Take the tablets, rest for a week, have my physiotherapy, and if you've still got pain in a week, then I'll give you a cortisone injection in the hip, because they had decided now that the pain was coming from my hip, which is why they wanted an MRI on my hip. So he was like, we'll put a cortisone injection in the hip if the pain's still there. So I was like, oh, okay, well, it doesn't sound serious, so okay. So I was off work, I was taking the tablets every day, I wasn't doing any sport, I felt so lazy. I wasn't doing any sport. I was having my physio and taking the tablets and resting. And then I was at my physio session, or did my physio call me? Maybe she called me. And she said that Dr. Meshida wanted to see me personally and see my results himself, because he did have a suspicion of what it could be. So then I went the next day, I think, was the Wednesday, to see Dr. Meshida, which was my original doctor that my physio had referred me to. I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast, by the way. So I saw Dr. Meshida on the Wednesday. He had a look at my results as well, and he'd had the full results from the radiology. And he said that there was so this is the hip joint, and what he suspects is in this like cave bit under here. And it's like a concave, so it's really hard to see. And he said that the MRI wasn't showing up this part of the joint that he wanted to see. So he said, I want you to have another MRI, but what we need to do is put an injection of fluid into your hip. It's like a blue fluid apparently. And they inject that into the hip, so then you can see on the MRI everything a lot more clearly, like all the little bits and, you know, bobs of the joint. so he said, I really recommend doing it because I really he suspects, it's called the labrium, and he suspected that there's a cut through this labrium, and it's very often compared to the meniscus in the knee. And at the time, he was like, it's an injury that comes from skating, because a lot of ice hockey skaters get this injury. And I had a couple of falls in the show, and, you know, it could have been a few different factors from the job, from doing Starlight, that could cause this cut in the labrium. And he says, I really want to be able to see this part of the joint, so we really need to do another MRI. And I said, okay, that's fine. And he didn't go into too much detail really, but he just said it was, you know, if it is that, it's a problem with skating. So then I was like really panicked. I was like, oh my God, my career is over. I'm not going to be able to work at Starlight anymore. What am I going to do? So then I came home, I was really upset. And then I calmed down. I spoke to my director at work, explained that they wanted to do another MRI. And, you know, he's very understanding. He was like, look, you just need to get better. You can't keep working with pain. You need to get it sorted. I was like, yes. So that calmed me down. I felt a bit less pressure. Then that was on the Wednesday, and my MRI then wasn't for about a week and a half. So not the following Tuesday, the Tuesday after. So almost 2 weeks. So I just continued to have physiotherapy. I was resting. My hip my groin, the pain wasn't getting any better, literally. So I know resting isn't helping because it's not getting any better. So then finally last Tuesday came around and I had this MRI. It was okay. I had to have a CT scan first just to check that the injection with the fluid was going into the joint and it was in the right place. So that took a while and it was a little bit painful. It was more like pressure on the joint when they put the fluid in. But it wasn't too bad. I can take quite a lot of pain, so it's okay. So I had that. Then I had another MRI, and then I took the results. This was on a Tuesday. I took the CD again, straight back to Dr. Meshida. He's so caring. He's so lovely. I would recommend him. I feel like he's really trying to do his best for me. So he had a look at the results, and he thought he could see something, but again, his computer screen is really small. So he spoke to the radiology people. He said, have you had a chance to have a look at it yet? And I think the radiologist said he'd had a brief look through, but nothing had popped out at him. But he said he was going to do the thorough check of the MRI, and then he would write a report and send it to Dr. Meshida. So this was on the Tuesday, and Dr. Meshida said, I think I see something, but I just want to wait to get the full results and then come back on Friday and we can just go through the results together. But he said, don't worry, if it is what I think it is, we can operate on it, and, a few months and, you'll be good as new. So I was like, oh my God, an operation, like, what? So anyway, a couple of days passed. Friday I went in. We had the written results from the radiology department, and I do have a cut in the labrium of the hip joint. So I am having an operation, basically. That was quite a long story, even though I said I wanted to keep it short and sweet. So that is what's going on with me. I've had 3 weeks off so far. I do need an operation in my hip. My director said I'm the first person this has happened to, so I don't know why it's happening to me, but it is. It's not ideal, but I am, in a weird way, I guess, relieved that I finally know what the problem is. I've had this pain for over 3 months, and I've rested, I've had physio, I've taken tablets, I've tried to work through it, not work through it. I feel like I was doing everything I could and nothing was getting any better. So it's not muscular, it is part of this hip joint. And I don't have an appointment for it yet. I'm waiting to get an appointment. I have to see Dr. Meshida tomorrow morning, which is Monday morning, and then he gives me a paper, and then I should be able to go and see my doctor in the hospital where I'm going to be getting the operation done. And then I'm hoping that they can push me in and get me in as quick as possible. I literally want to get it done so I can get into therapy to start, getting it better and get back to work as soon as possible. So yeah, I don't have a date yet for the operation. I'm hoping it's going to be within the next couple of weeks. And then recovery time, my doctor kind of said around 2 months. Could be shorter, could be longer. It just depends, I guess, how invasive the surgery is. And I'm not sure yet if they're going to try and repair the cut in this labrium, or I also kind of heard my doctor tell me that they could also shave down the hip joint, because I think it's when I move my hip is touching or trying to go over where this cut is, and that's why I get this like awful, excruciatingly sharp pain in my groin. So I'm not sure if then they filed the joint down so that as my hip moves, it's not going to touch the cut in this labrium. So I'm not sure if they repair that or if they shave that so it doesn't touch it. One or the other. I'm going to ask all the questions when I meet with the surgeon at the hospital, hopefully next week. So yeah, that is what is going on. So I'm definitely not going to be back at Starlight for a couple of months, which means no English show for me. I was so excited to do Starlight in English, and it's just not meant to be. But hopefully if it's a success, they will do it again next contract, and then I can do the English show. So that's a bit upsetting, but I can't help this. I really wish it wasn't happening, but it is happening. And I just want to get better and get back to work. My goal at the moment is to be back for the changeover. The newbies come in a week. I can't even believe it. So my goal is to be back by April, like maybe towards the end of April. So then I can be back for rehearsals, do the changeover into Ashley. Let me show you this, guys. Sylvia and Rena got me this, and they got me I have a white like cream hoodie at work with Buffy on it. It's so nice. And they made me this, it's got hair on it. Ooh. They made me this one in this gorgeous like Ashley reddy brown colour. It's perfect for Ashley. And it's a Starlight Express, a first cast Ashley, Sian. And then on the back, it's got Starlight Express. So I definitely want to be back for changeover so I can wear this hoodie as Ashley for a whole year, pain-free. I just want to work with no pain because I definitely just couldn't carry on the way I was. It wasn't good. So that's what's going on. The operation is happening. I just don't know when yet, but hopefully it'll all be done really quickly and I can get back in the show because I miss it so much. I can't even tell you. I miss working so much. So keep your fingers crossed for me. Send me all your positive thoughts and healing thoughts. I could really use them right now. And did I have anything else to update you guys on? I think that is it. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave me any questions you have in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's it, guys. Not really good news, but I just got so many different questions. I just wanted to tell you all what's going on, tell you the story, so everyone is on the same page, including me. And yeah, hopefully my next video will be a little bit more chirpy and happy. And yeah, I'm thinking about vlogging the experience. I've never had to do anything like this before. Like, I've had like surgery before, but from my choice, i.e. my boobs. So I've never really had to have an operation that wasn't my choice. So I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I was thinking of vlogging it, but we'll see nearer the time if I feel like it's the right thing to do or not. I feel like it'd be quite interesting for you guys to kind of see what, you know, we would go through with an injury like this. I don't know. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I'm going to stop talking now because I feel like I've been talking too much. So I hope this has cleared up any of your questions. If you have any more, let me know down below. And until the next video, I just want to say I love you guys so much. Ich liebe euch. Bye.